You know, there's this constant pressure in education, right? We all want better academic results, especially in the big ones like math and science. But how do you do that without completely burning out your best teachers? Well, today, we're diving right into that exact problem.
This is really at the heart of the challenge for pretty much every school leader out there. You're trying to push student performance up, but that almost always means more work, more correction, and more data entry for teachers. It feels like you can't have one without the other. But what if technology, specifically AI, could finally break that cycle?
Okay, so let's look at a new approach, dedicated AI platforms designed for this exact purpose. The whole idea is to do two things at once. First, pinpoint those learning gaps and actually boost student scores. And second, and this is crucial, automate the stuff that eats up so much of a teacher's valuable time.
So how does a system like this actually work? Well, this one's built on two core patented ideas. The first is what's called a weekly microlearning program. Think of it like a continuous academic pulse check, using quick multiple-choice questions to see who's getting it and who isn't, week by week. The second part tackles the really hard stuff, subjective written answers, using AI to give incredibly detailed feedback. So you get the regular check-in and you also get the deep dive. It's a constant feedback loop.
Now I know what you might be thinking, another complicated piece of tech to learn. But look how simple this workflow is. Step 1, students do what they've always done. They write on paper. Step 2, all that work gets digitized through one central scanner. And Step 3, the AI takes over, delivering all the insights. It's designed to fit right into the classroom, no new devices or clunky software needed.
And that right there is the absolute key. So many new tech ideas fail because they just become one more thing on a teacher's already full plate. The goal here is zero extra burden. The system works with the assignments and the class periods you already have. It's not adding work, it's making the existing work smarter. Okay, so that's how it works for students and teachers. But what about from your desk? What does a principal or an academic head actually see? This is where all that raw data gets turned into clear, actionable intelligence that you can actually use to make decisions. So from your dashboard, this data becomes your tactical advantage. You get things like reteach shortlists that don't just say a class is struggling, they tell you the exact concept where marks are leaking. You can drill down from the entire grade level right into one specific chapter. This means you can track how ready your students are before the big formative and summative assessments, and you have a clear data trail for every single student, which makes parent-teacher meetings so much more productive.
What this creates is a win-win-win for everyone. Students get an early warning about where they're struggling, so they actually have time to fix it. Teachers get back hours and hours they used to spend on manual corrections. And for school leadership, it means way fewer surprises when those final exam results come in, because you saw the problems weeks in advance and did something about it.
And get this, the time it takes to get your teachers completely onboarded and ready to go? Just 1 hour. That's it. Making it this easy to start is a huge part of the design. So that brings us to the next step. For schools who are thinking about heading down this path, the rollout is usually done in phases, starting with an early adopter group to see the impact firsthand within just one academic term. And the timing on this is pretty critical. You really want to get a system like this up and running before your first big assessment. Why? Because then you can use the data to get ahead of the learning gaps before that first formative assessment, instead of just reacting to the results after the fact.
Look, at the end of the day, the technology to do this stuff is here, and it's getting more and more accessible. So the real question isn't if schools will start using AI, it's how they'll use it to truly empower their students and their staff. It's about making that leap from just collecting data to actually creating intelligence.